Now shut the fuck up.
All right. So I'll just give you a clap, and then you can start whenever you're ready.
Como vai, and welcome to another edition of the Super P Podcast. It is I, fully vaccinated Polo Parata, your host, along with my co-host, GK. How you doing?
Hot.
Okay, GK's hot because it's 90 degrees, but I'll just introduce our guest because, we don't want to waste any time. He's been, I think I've interviewed you twice already.
Yeah.
You've been there, rocked there twice.
Yeah.
So he's here for round number 3. It's the one and only, Mr. Dapper Dan himself, JayFlatbush.
What's good? How's everybody doing, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. You know what I mean? I decided to look like an extra from a Scarface
I know,
movie
you look
right
like you
now,
need to be in Miami for the weekend, bro.
Yo, I'm telling you, man. I might catch a flight right after this, man. Just take a quick day trip.
You know what I'm saying? Snap a picture, because this guy's El Fuego.
Yo, I actually want to blame my wife for this look, you know what I mean? So I had something else, another outfit planned out, and then she was like, nah, come here. And then she just started going through my closet and throwing stuff on, and this is what she came up with. She said I look cute. I don't know,
Okay,
Thank you, baby.
Yeah, listen, you got to follow the wifey's, suggestions. Cause
Yeah, women know
you
best.
and me know both.
Yeah, it was up
what
to
we
me.
go through.
I for 30-something years, I wore a Yankee fitted every day, so... I figured I'd switch it up, get my grown man on a little bit,
But first and foremost, you're one of the only people that I saw during the lockdown time.
Yeah.
The time you came to the crib.
Yeah, came to the crib, and then we actually kicked it at Caton Park a couple times, too, at the dog park.
Like literally one of the few. I only saw maybe 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
But, so how you been dealing with COVID and all that?
Man, shit. Last year and a half has been crazy, man. You know what? It took a little bit of time. Like everybody took some time to adjust, being at home. I got a dog, I told you about that. Yeah, I got a Rottweiler puppy during COVID, and that actually helped me out a lot, man, because it gave me a purpose and something to do. With that extra time because you got your commuting time when you're going to work and then you're going out and all that gets taken away in the blink of an eye. You're like, all right, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Just sit here and play 2K all day? Nah, I need something, something to keep me going, man. And getting the puppy and training her was actually something that really kept me on track, man. And now she's like a year old and 120 pounds almost. Grew up beautiful, man, but she's also well-disciplined, well-trained, and it wouldn't have been able to happen without having that time during COVID. But yeah, man, we adjust. Things are coming back to normal now, it seems. I'm half vaccinated. I ain't fully vaccinated. But
I'm fully, baby.
I'm waiting on that second
As
shot.
of Friday.
It's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, right. So I actually, not for nothing, man, I was dubious about the vaccine because I saw Shorty that took the vaccine and then she dropped out on camera. I don't know if you remember that. And I got underlying health conditions. I told you a year and a half ago I had a very, very minor stroke. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let them work the kinks out and shit. But it seems like everything's good. And I'm also, I got net season tickets and they ain't letting you come in next year without the vaccination. So I'm like, fuck that.
And see, that's why I try to tell people, they're gonna I know they didn't want to say this, but they're gonna force you to take this stupid vaccination. Because even
have to, man.
In terms of some states are gonna stop you from coming in unless you show a fully vaccinated card. That's all coming down the pipeline.
Absolutely.
Just like you said, you wanna go to a sporting event, you gotta either be vaccinated or you gotta have if I'm right, you gotta have a test within 24 hours.
Yeah, so I went to a Nets game a month ago, right?
Right.
And they had a full setup on the side where you usually get your will call tickets.
Right.
They had a full setup with people just giving out tests. So me and my wife went there. We took the test. Had to wait over an hour for the results. We went across the street to the mall and just walked around.
Right.
And they have a whole app and everything that just pings you whenever the test results come in. So they turn it around mad quick, and then you could jump in. But I'm glad I went there early because I didn't even know the process was all that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, they're doing that now, and eventually it's gonna be if you ain't got the vaccine, you ain't coming in, man. So I think in order to try to get back to how life was before COVID, Like you said, you're gonna be forced to do it, man.
Yeah, because like I want to go see my daughter in Florida, and it's like I was like, you know what? I have no choice. Like I have to get vaccinated. Like what I'm saying? No matter. I mean, I did my due diligence and trying to figure out and see what's in it and stuff like that. But then it's like I want to travel. I don't want to be stopped nowhere. I don't want to take a test.
Yeah.
Can I ask? Well, I gotta ask a question. You were talking about the Nets game. For background, because it's all virtual, right? Do you have the portal? Like, they put the camera on you so you can be in the crowd, like virtually.
No.
What's the process with
the
that?
Nets
He
game.
was at the game.
But you have season tickets, so then you get like first pick of being on camera.
Oh, you talking
during
about
game?
the-
Oh yeah, so I was at a couple of virtual games. When they were just all virtual, when they had the virtual crowd, and so yeah, they have they send you a link, and it's a Microsoft Teams app that they use.
Okay.
So they send you a link, and then they randomly put you in a virtual crowd where it's just like it takes like Zoom almost, but you have the background.
So they give you the background.
So no, the background is like it looks like an arena, and it looks like seats,
Okay.
but they just put your head and your face into their virtual background.
Okay, yeah, because it looked all uniform, and I was watching wrestling, and all the backgrounds all over the place. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I watched an NBA game. Everything was uniform. It looked a lot neater. you know? I
Yeah,
was
so
wondering how
they
did
have
it.
like spots, like actual virtual seats, and depending on what order you come in, like they assign you a virtual section, and then depending on what order you log in, that'll determine your place in the seats.
Okay, and they were only offering that to season ticket holders?
I think initially, yeah, or friends and families of the Nets. So I know a lot of people at the Nets. Shout out everybody, but.
We always shouting them out.
Yeah, I got to. That's family, man. You know, they sent me the care package. I think I sent you a picture. They sent me a care package with like every single bobblehead from last
I'm
season.
still waiting for my bobblehead.
You know what? I had it in my car for like 2 months, and I was supposed to meet up with you.
Yep.
I finally took it out of my car, but I got you next time,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, man, I'm proud of my Nets, man. You see what we did last night, man? Looking good,
I
man.
didn't watch it. Did they win?
We looking good, baby.
They won.
They won.
They won.
I'm preparing for that parade on Flatbush.
Listen.
Ave,
I don't
man.
see nobody in the East beating them, but
Nah,
You
man.
know.
Even Philly, like
I think Philly, like I told you, I think Philly will take a couple games from them, but I don't think they can beat them in 4 straight, like
only-
4 games.
the only thing with Philly you got to worry about is Embiid, man, because our defense, and it's especially our interior defense, is just atrocious, man. But you know, when you got an offense that could drop 130, 140 any given game, it's like you always got that puncher's chance. It's like in heavyweights when heavyweight might be trash, but you got that puncher's chance. You
I
what
know
mean?
for you want the Knicks to play the Nets in the
Oh,
playoffs.
I would love that, son. You know how much shit I've been getting from Knicks fans
It's
for the
possible,
last.
though, right? But it won't happen
It
until
won't happen to the final,
the Eastern Conference Finals.
So the Knicks have to beat Philly in order to play us,
Right.
Which you know what, I think is possible, and I'm glad. I really do hope the Knicks beat Atlanta, because I do think they could wear Philly out. I don't know if they could beat Philly,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say it's outside the realm of
But
possibility.
can you imagine that?
Yo, the
Tickets would
city
be
would be on
astronomical.
fire,
Yeah.
on
The
fire.
tickets would be astronomical for that.
And it'd be a sweep, but it'd be short lived.
Oh, jeez Louise.
I mean, I don't care how gritty and well coached they are. There's no way in hell they can.
I
guard
think you gotta
out
be
the-
careful. There's a Knicks fan somewhere in there.
I know
and
there's a
and
Knicks fan
you know what I'm saying?
somewhere.
Somewhere lurking in
I
here. You know what I'm saying?
I see the hat, but nah, man. Like, I we were talking before we rolled the cameras. Like, I have no animosity. I used to be a Knicks fan, but I am from Brooklyn. I am from Flatbush, and I grew up not too far from the Barclays. And once the Barclays opened up, it is about Brooklyn, man. I'm not from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. I keep telling people this.
So what do you
man.
say about the people that say the Nets are really Jersey's team?
I mean, yeah, they're really, but Jersey couldn't, they couldn't sustain them. You know what I mean? They had to come to somewhere real to shine. You know what I mean? And it opened up so much opportunities. Yeah, man. Yeah, they actually originated in Long Island.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Jersey rented them just like we rent them, whatever.
Right. But you know how people don't remember that. They remember that they're just New Jersey
of
Nets.
course, everybody's memory short-lived. 20 years from now, they ain't even gonna remember they was in Jersey.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially
had
after
some-
we win four championships in the next 5 years.
Here
They
we-
had some good runs in
Walter,
Jersey.
I'm sorry,
though,
bro.
right?
I'm sorry,
Like,
They had some good runs.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, bro.
they were like going
They had
against the
Dr.
Spurs.
J when they was in Long Island. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
I'm
nobody
saying,
remembers that.
like,
and
in
nobody's gonna
Jersey-
remember Jason Kidd was on the Nets 20 years from now.
Yeah,
Like,
Jason Kidd. Those teams were good. I liked them a lot.
yeah, man. Like I do like what they've done since they've been in Brooklyn with rebranding. You know, getting rid of them. Those old Jersey uniforms were trash. Like just
No,
from,
well, I like the ones that
like everybody was hot
the
about the
white, red, and blue
creamsicle,
ones.
the creamsicle joints that
Yeah.
they. I hate.
You don't like
them
the
shits.
you don't like the white, red, and blue ones?
Not really, man.
Where it
Not-
got like
the old school from like the Long Island
Yeah,
Nets
yeah.
ones that look kind of like the
Yeah,
Philly
yeah,
jerseys.
yeah.
Yeah, those are hot.
Yeah.
Those are like classic joints.
Uh-huh.
But like the one with the big blocky Nets
Nah, I don't like
logo,
that. I don't
nah,
like that.
man,
I don't
it's
like that.
trash. I think it is like a little bit of elegance and cool, and that's why, you know, when you contrast the Knicks and the Nets,
yeah.
you have one team that just feels like they're old and stale with the, you know, they haven't really done anything to modernize themselves, the Knicks. You know what I mean? They're run by an owner who is probably the worst owner in sports.
Dolan.
And then you contrast that with the Nets, who, you know, are fresh and young and modern, and you know, it's like buying an old house versus buying that new crib. You know what I mean? As someone who's been house shopping recently, but you know, you want those modern luxuries. You know what I mean? You want a owner who's a billionaire who's gonna spend $500 million on your training facility or however crazy amount. Versus the Knicks still training in Westchester in a gym, you know, with some high school kids or whatever. Like, you know, and it's opening up business opportunities. I guarantee you James Dolan ain't going to Alfred Payton talking to him about investment opportunities.
But let me ask you a question. Dolan hasn't blocked you yet?
Oh, not yet.
Holy shit, you done did all the years.
Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, I created the James Dolan fan club just to troll Knicks fans.
Walter, it's bad.
I just like fucking with
It's
people.
bad over here. It's bad. He's
I have a JD in the straight shots fitted hat just to show my support. Because I be getting a lot of shit from Knicks fans. And the funny thing, I don't hate y'all, man. Y'all hate us. Like, the Knicks fans hate us because we, after the Garnett trade, and we traded away multiple draft picks for 7 years, and Garnett and Pierce only last a year, everybody's like, yo, the Nets are trash. They're done. Like, they're irrelevant. And then we signed the top 3 players, or arguably the top 3 players in the league outside of LeBron, on the same team. And then all of a sudden, you get all this backlash and all this hate. I gotta rub it in. I gotta fuck with you a little bit.
Right,
because
right.
you spent years fucking with me. Like, come on, it's only fair in love and war, baby. Can't hate the player, hate the game.
This guy. I'm sorry, Knicks fans. If you're a fan of the Knicks, this is not the show for you. Please turn us off.
Nah, I saw love. Go New York, go New York, go. Yeah.
But so let's get into this. So I want to know, because I know me and you, we do talk a lot about stocks and stuff. So I'm gonna bring everybody into the fold, because I've had an episode where we started talking about it and then we kind of got off it. But you know, how long? Like, what got you into investing? Because you're a big investor.
Fucking you. You.
Hey.
So you mentioned that we met up during the pandemic, right?
Right.
So what happened was, there was a day I was in the park with my dog, and me and you talking about your investments.
Right.
And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at my savings account, my 401k, and I'm making 0.5%, 2% a year or whatever.
Not enough.
I was like, yo, there's got to be a better way to accelerate this. You know what I mean? And I'm, you know, I got some, you know, you dropped some gems on me, and you know, I opened up a couple of brokerage accounts. I opened up one with Robinhood, and I'll get into them in a minute. But
Yeah.
and then I opened up one with Webull. So let me tell you about my investment journey.
Right.
So I started dibbling dabbling in it late summer, and then in December I started going a little harder. January comes. And what comes with January? GameStop, right? So I'm on these Discords. Like, when I tell you I was going hard, man, I was going hard.
Right.
Like, I'm on stock Discords just learning from people on how to day trade, how to swing trade.
Right.
And I got investments here and there. I had CCIV back when they were GHIV.
Yeah.
I had SNDL. I had a bunch of stocks, but I wasn't really paying attention to GameStop like that.
Right.
January 27th come. And all of a sudden, GameStop goes from $60, $70 to $150 to $320 to $400 and something. And I'm sitting there looking at this because the Discords and Twitter and everything going crazy.
Crazy, right?
And I'm like, yo, how the fuck did this happen? Like, GameStop? Like, I thought they was going out of business. Like, because the pandemic, you know, between GameStop and AMC and other recovery stocks, like, it was looking bleak. So what I did was I FOMO'd in. So I dropped, like, you know, I'm not going to say how much, but I dropped a significant amount of money into GameStop near their peak.
Right. So you caught it when it was going up.
I caught it when it was going up. And like midway through, like around the $240 mark, right?
Yeah.
So I caught it going up. And then I'm like, yo, we might hit 1,000, 3,000, 4,000. Who knows? Like, based on everything that I was saying, because I didn't know. I've heard the term short squeeze, and I knew it kind of fundamentally what it was, but I didn't really understand what was happening.
But tell people what that is, because they don't know what that is.
All right. So when it comes to investing, you got bulls and bears, right? So with bulls, they're the people who are betting that a stock is going up. That's normally most retail traders, me and you, anybody with a Robinhood app or a similar brokerage app. You buy a stock, it goes up, you sell a stock, that's a bull, right? A bear bets a stock is going down. However, a bear can't buy a stock to bet it's going down. They have to borrow a stock. It's called shorting. So you have market makers, the big banks, and people like Citadel and others. Not Citadel. Citadel's a hedge fund, but you have like the BlackRocks of the world,
Right.
who lend shares to places like Citadel for them to short. And what that means is I'll lend you these shares, and you have to pay a certain interest rate on those shares. And let's say I lend you the shares at 10, you sell them, betting that the stock is going to go down, and then you buy them back at like 3 or 4. Then you know what? You just made a $7 profit. You make a profit off of the difference between what you sell them for and what you buy them back and return them for, minus the interest rate. So what happened was with GameStop, some hedge funds who short a stock, they're betting on that stock to go bankrupt, because if a company goes bankrupt while you short the stock, guess what? You never have to buy back those shares. So if you borrowed shares at $10, for argument's sake, not only do you not have to buy those shares back, but you don't get the capital gains tax on those shares as well. So a lot of these short sellers, what they were doing was they were manipulating the system and heavily shorting companies with the hopes of bankrupting them. That's what happened with Toys R Us. They attacked Toys R Us to the point where they couldn't be a viable company anymore financially and had to file for bankruptcy. They were trying to do it with GameStop, and they were trying to do it with AMC and others. But what happened was Roaring Kitty, this dude on Twitter, he was deep fucking value on Reddit.
Right.
He noticed this, and he started making videos back in late summer telling people this is a good investment opportunity because GameStop fundamentally can turn around. The Reddit crowd started listening to him, and they all start jumping in on the stock. And the next thing you know, the short sellers can't bring the stock down enough to bankrupt the company. And I remember I told you that they're paying interest rates now.
Right, yeah.
So those interest rates, that's just straight up losses on them. And next thing you know, they got to the point where they couldn't sustain the losses anymore. They have to buy the stock back. And that creates the short squeeze because as the stock rises, remember, it's not just one hedge fund, there's hundreds of them. And as the stock rises, one of them covers their shorts, it starts rising, then another one covers, and then all of a sudden it's the reverse FOMO. And that's what blows the stock up. I didn't know none of this shit. What I knew was I invested a bunch of money and lost, and I started seeing red on my brokerage account, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So what I did was I took the next few weeks and just deep dive everything about stocks.
Yeah,
man.
because there was a time, even going through COVID, that every stock shot down, like went down. Like,
Yeah.
I was in the red all types of ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I stayed in, now everything is almost back to normal, back to levels. There's some stuff that's still down, but no, that's what I'm saying. Like listen, you've done. I know you've done phenomenal because we've talked about certain things that you hit that you hit on.
Yeah.
So, do you consider yourself a full-fledged day trader, or are you just more like?
I think if you want to be a day trader, a true day trader, it has to be all or nothing, because there's so much. I'm more of a swing trader now.
Okay.
Like I was dabbling in day trading for a little bit. But now that I started working at another company and I'm like house hunting and stuff like that, like
Right.
I didn't really have the time needed because this is money we talking about. This ain't monopoly money. This is
Right.
real money. And if you're not really on top of it from a day trading perspective, you can lose money like that.
right?
So I'm more of a swing trader where swing trading is a little different. Day trading is you jump into a stock, you look at the charts to see when it's overbought or oversold. You jump in when it's oversold, ride it up when it's overbought, and then you jump out.
Yeah.
That whole process, it could be an hour or it could be 5 minutes, but you have to catch it at the right wave.
Right.
And I was doing that. Like when I say in January, I lost a bunch of money and I got motivated to learn more. By the end of February, I made up what I lost and then started making profits.
Right.
Because I was day trading like a motherfucker. Like, so, but it's like my boy came over one day and he was like, yo, it's like you're watching a game of Pong all day.
Right.
Because I have like 2 screens with like 6 charts on it. And I'm just watching the stocks go up and down, watching the charts, and then jumping in and jumping out. So I'm more like a swing trader where I'm looking for like news catalysts that are gonna affect the stock one way or another, and then try to anticipate it. And swing trading is more like a couple of day process, right? Versus day trading where it's like instantaneous.
Yeah, because but one thing you did say, and I tell him all the time, like you do have to put forth the research. Like you gotta like kind of like look up shit, and you gotta like find out what terms mean. And I tell people this all the time, bro. Like all the time, you don't need a lot of money to start.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You start. I tell people start putting $30 in your account and just messing with penny stocks, and then mess with this stuff that is good for you. So if you do take a loss, it's not like, well, you're saying the sky's falling.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that, for instance, that if they had an emergency where it was like $500, they don't got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because people live check to check, and that's disposable income, meaning that as quick as it is in, it's gone.
Right.
You have to figure out a way to, when you get disposable income, to keep some of it with you, and then make the one that you keep with you, you make it work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was telling you, and then the whole thing about.
Yeah, absolutely. And even let's say for argument's sake, you can't even afford the $30 to put in.
Right.
If you really want to learn it, Webull has something called paper trading.
Right.
Where you don't have to put any money down. They'll give you it is monopoly money, right? So they give you $1 million, and then you invest it in just to learn how it works before you put any real money in.
Yeah.
Now, real money is going to give you a better motivator.
Right.
It's a better motivator to learn.
Yeah, but I would never tell somebody to throw 5,000, 10,000. I mean, you know what I'm saying, you're different because you were like, every day I'm eat, sleep, shit, stock.
Yeah.
But
So
the average person working every day, this and that, I just think that's too much to be like, okay, let me throw this in there, and then what happens? They get a big loss, and all of a sudden the sky's falling.
Well, that's what happened with me with
Right.
GameStop. Like,
Right.
you know,
I think. Hang on.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, cool.
So everybody's riding like this high of stocks, and it's gambling, and you get a high off of gambling.
Yeah, it's gambling. I
Oh,
agree.
it's
Right.
gambling,
Yeah, I agree.
absolutely.
So people don't realize that 10 years ago we had a housing crisis. 20 years ago we had a tech bubble, right? So it seems like every 10 years they pull the rug out from the market and you lose everything.
Yeah, and it's about to
So-
happen again.
It is, because it's time to happen again. And nobody's talking about that. Everybody's riding this sugar high off of their GameStop and blah, blah. People should be really worried that the rug's gonna get pulled out again.
I couldn't agree more. And this is what's happening. What I described with GameStop and all of these stocks that that hedge funds are trying to bankrupt, what happened was they didn't bankrupt them. And they over leveraged themselves with short positions. So what happens is when you're over leveraged and you can't start affording to pay that interest, you get margin called, which means whoever is lending you this shit is like, okay, you don't have enough collateral to back up your positions. You need to start liquidating assets. And then once enough of margin calls happen, you're starting to see it now with crypto. The last few days, all the crypto
Shut down, yeah.
Yeah, all crypto went down.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
That's because these hedge funds are starting to get margin called, and they have to liquidate their positions to
Yeah, to
meet
cover
their margin.
the margin. Yeah.
They're covering their margin requirements, and that's going to happen with all of these stocks that aren't involved in the shorting, right? So you're going to see a lot of stocks like Apple, like the blue chip stocks. They're going to take a nosedive, I guarantee you. But it's like a scale. Some stocks are going to go down, but some stocks are going to go up, and it's these heavily shorted stocks like GameStop, AMC, COS, Naked, Nokia. All of these stocks that these hedge funds tried to short into oblivion, they're going to explode because it just for a short time, like a week or two. They're going to explode before the entire market takes its shit. But it's gonna happen.
So what's to be the cause of it, you think? Regulations? That's
Well,
what my feelings are.
Yeah,
but,
so you know they have a new SEC, and we're going deep now, but they have a new SEC director, Gary Gensler, I think his name is. And if you've been reading up on what he's been saying over the last 3 weeks since he was sworn in, he's putting in a ton of new regulations that put stricter requirements on short selling. And they're going after these hedge funds who are doing naked shorting, which is shorting a stock when you don't even own the stock. And it's creating synthetic shares. And that's one of the reasons why we see a lot of this corruption and market manipulation is, you know, you have people doing things that are blatantly illegal, but the SEC hasn't really enforced any of their rules because a lot of these hedge funds were in bed with, with the SEC. Now you have a new SEC director who the new administration, the Biden administration, is kind of like, was like, yo, you need to go fix this shit. And if you see what he's been saying recently and some of the actions that he took, the SEC actually sued a hedge fund this weekend for market manipulation. And that's going to start happening much more frequently because they're trying to root out all of these hedge funds. It's the same thing that happened in 2008 when they were, doing the collateralized debt, the CDOs.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, where they were taking these bullshit fucking mortgages and packaging them up. And selling them as, AAA commodities and shit, where they knew the underlying mortgage was trash. They were selling them as A-rated, but you got people who had a FICO score of 400 taking out mortgages with a variable rate, and then all of a sudden when the rate jumps up, they can't pay their mortgage, they default, and then the whole thing collapsed. That's what created the mortgage crisis. And if you want to understand that, watch movies like The Big Short.
That was like the start of it.
Yeah,
When you're talking about that's the very beginning of it.
that's
And
the
then
very
what
beginning
just-
of it.
everything
And
was-
it's happening in a different way now with, short selling and naked shorting and creating synthetic shares of stocks for companies that they want to bankrupt so that they don't have to pay the capital gains tax and they don't have to buy back the shares.
Okay.
That's why it's happening now. And I think we're a couple of weeks away or a couple of months. I don't want to put any dates on it, but very soon this shit is going to blow up, man. And a lot of people who have money in I took all my money out of my 401k, every dime. I took it out because this shit is going to explode and people are going to lose a lot of money on their 401ks. They're going to people investments, retirement funds.
I mean, they lost a lot even with the with COVID.
Yeah, well, you know what's
401ks
funny?
took a hit.
401ks took a hit initially, but 2020, the first quarter of 2020, the market took a shit. If you look at the rest of 2020, it was a bull market. There were certain stocks that were doing terrible, but for the most part, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ didn't drop that much.
Right.
We are definitely going through a period of inflation right now because it should have dropped.
Yeah, sure.
It should have dropped, but a lot of people were borrowing on margin to keep the shit up. And now it's the bills coming due. So, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting, man. Do what you want. This is not financial advice. Trust me, I
Exactly.
don't want nobody. Let me make that very, very clear. This is not financial advice. Do not sue me if you lose all your money. But what I'm doing, taking all my money out of the 401k, I'm investing 80% of my overall net worth into some of these stocks that I feel like are going to go up.
Right.
Especially AMC. I don't know if you guys been following it.
Yeah, I heard that they're trying to do the same thing with AMC that they did with the GameStop. That there's a margin. Yeah, they were talking about it a lot last night on the internet. But that's a lot of people don't realize. People always they wonder like why people are in the know about these things. Like he was saying, he pays attention to Discords. It's all chat rooms.
Yeah.
You gotta read chat rooms.
Yeah, I learned most of what I learned off of Reddit, to be honest.
That's
with you.
how like that Dogecoin bullshit.
Yeah, but now
jumped
the-
off in the chat
Exactly.
room.
Now the guys that were on Telegram, Wall Street Bets, like their Reddit's still there, but their Telegram is what's popping.
Yeah, that's true too. You gotta fish where the fish are, man. And I wouldn't say put all of your trust into Reddit Reddit boards because sometimes they all have their own ulterior motives too for pumping the stock.
Yeah, like they're
right?
steering it into the direction
Well,
they want it
that's-
to.
Exactly. But what I say is learn the fundamentals of why things happen.
Right.
Why a short squeeze happens. Why do hedge funds get margin called? And then you look at the numbers for a stock that you're interested in and you do your own research. Don't rely, because if you rely on Reddit boards, that's how I got screwed in the very beginning, man. Like, you rely on a Reddit board and they're like, oh, it's going to go to 1,000. And everybody's saying AMC is going to go to $100,000 a share. Calm the fuck down. Like, it's not, if it went to $100,000 a share, it would collapse the world economy.
Yeah.
Be realistic. But, could it go to like $300, $400, $500 a share? I absolutely think that might be the floor for it. So, just take what you read with a grain of salt and do your own due
And do your own
diligence.
research. Because that's what I do. Because, I run my account, my daughter's accounts. So I'm always reading. I'm always looking at stuff. I'm always like, saying I be sending symbols and, all type
Yeah,
of nonsense.
man.
But, yeah, you making some good points. You definitely should do the research on your own. And you can always see something on a Reddit board, whatever.
But this, I do think.
Wait. Well,
Yeah,
talking
go
about Reddit. Is Reddit still gonna go public, or do you think all this like fucked up
No,
the
it is gonna go
IPO?
public.
Yeah, it's gonna go public.
It's gonna go public?
It's on the calendar.
That would be the thing that I sell everything in my house.
I'm being
for,
honest with you.
but
I'm waiting for StockX to go public. StockX, no, it's on public.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going public. A couple
That's
more
a
months.
good one.
I'm
too.
waiting for Robinhood to go public so I can
I'm
short
in
it.
there like swimwear, baby.
I'm gonna short the shit out of
Squarespace is
Robinhood.
supposed to go too.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think.
StockX,
Yeah.
That's instant cash, bro.
Yeah. Do you fuck with options or no?
Sometimes, not
Yeah.
all the times. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good point you said about margin calls, because I know a lot of people don't know. You know, if you buy stock off the, like, say you buy it after hours, or you buy it before it's open, you can catch a margin call from that too.
Yes, you can.
Because if it opens up higher and you don't have the money to cover it.
Well, I'm trading off a cash account now.
Right.
Because I'm not fucking with margin.
Exactly. Because they
I
will
wanna know what
charge you, and then they charge you a fee if you don't know.
Yeah.
You get that fee plus whatever you gotta pay.
I don't even like putting money on my credit card. Like I don't like having a balance on my credit cards. That's why I don't. I charge something and then I pay it off right away. Margin, if you're not careful, fucking with a margin account, you can get fucked.
Yeah, because I know people that buy, like early in the morning. Like as soon as they wake up, they
That's
buy.
why I got Webull.
Yeah,
Because
and
with
then I'm
Webull, you can buy it 4 a.m. From 4 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
You can start trading.
Yeah, but if the market opens up and the stock is higher than what you had on there, like you in the cash account, then that's it. It's a margin call.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do. And then they charge you.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
boom.
exactly.
It's
man.
happened to me. I've said, fuck.
Yeah, but Pyre, I was a savage, man. Back in like February, I was getting up. This is when I was day trading heavy, man.
Yeah.
I was getting up at 4:30 in the morning. For real, I was getting up at 4:30 in the morning, seeing what stocks like opened up on Webull, what the top gainers were,
Right.
and jumping in at 4:30 in the pre-market just to catch something that's like on the rise. Looking at the RSI to see once it becomes oversold and then jumping out. I was doing that with like 3-4 stocks every morning,
I
man.
know, because even when we was texting each other, you were like in it. That's what I knew. I was like, damn, did he just like quit everything and become a trader?
Yeah, like people
I
been
was
hitting me
just
up
talking-
because
yeah.
my Twitter, my Twitter was normally about sneakers and music, and the last 5 months it's just been about stocks, man. And it's something I'm happy that more and more people are becoming financially literate.
Yeah, you have to.
Because the clothes and the jewelry and the car and sneakers, that's all good. But if you're not learning how to maintain wealth and build and make your money work for you,
Yeah, hustling backwards.
you hustling backwards, man. And it's a lesson that I learned recently. I'm not even trying to preach to nobody.
Right.
Because I was on the bullshit. Like I got some money and I just
blow it.
I blow 4 or 5 racks on clothes and shit like that. And now, like, that's another thing about the pandemic, man. I can't remember the last time I bought a pair of sneakers. Like, probably pre-pandemic was the last time I bought a pair of sneakers. Because you ain't going outside. You're not dressing up. Like, I stopped buying clothes, really. I stopped buying sneakers. And that extra income that I normally would have
Jay,
spent
you
on
have
that
enough
shit.
clothes. Come on now.
I know.
You have
I
enough
know.
clothes.
My closet's,
Come on now.
my closet's ridiculous. But no, but that money I would have spent on clothes, I started investing it.
Right.
And it was one of the best decisions I ever made, man, because now I'm making enough money where maybe I can retire in 10 years or even sooner.
And
You
think
know what I
about
mean?
it. You're about to get your crib.
Yeah. So I'm leaving Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm leaving Flatbush. Yeah, man.
So I'm not calling you JayFlatbush. no
Nah, it's
more.
going to be J East Orange.
You know what I'm saying?
But
For
yeah,
real.
man, closing on the house, man, in East Orange is beautiful, man.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully everything goes well, but I should be moving out there in July.
Nice.
Yeah, man. It's time to, grow. I moved back to Flatbush about a year and a half ago.
I remember.
Man, and
I was surprised.
yeah, I wanted to come back home, man. I really, really missed home. I really missed being around. But, I realized, like, I didn't really get to enjoy that time because as soon as I moved back, the pandemic happens and everybody's inside. Like,
Yeah.
It just didn't feel the same, man. And, I got the dog and she needs a backyard. I got my 2 kids. And, they want more room to run around and stuff like that. So,
But as the family grows, and that's the problem that I'm slowly but surely coming. You just need more space.
you
Like,
need more space, man.
just-
You
it just-
really do.
It just won't work,
Yeah. So, I'm going to need some design tips on how to trick out the man cave, though.
Oh, I
man.
got you, kid. I got you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
I got me. I got in the house. I got 2 big this display cases full of
Yeah.
man cave items. You've seen them. You've seen
Yeah,
one
I seen
before.
I seen.
have two now.
Oh, you have two now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
man.
how much crap I got over the years.
I'm definitely copping the pool table.
Oh,
I
yeah.
might even get the Mortal Kombat Supreme arcade.
Oh, nice.
I
Yeah,
was
you
thinking
should. Why
about
not?
that. Yeah,
Why
man.
not?
I'm gonna fucking hook that basement
Why
up.
not?
I'm about to be on some MTV crib shit.
Oh, here you
so-
go. See? There you go. But before we get you out of here, we gotta
Yeah,
talk about
man.
so what's going on with your polo obsession?
You know what? Just like all my it's funny. I get into something and I like go all in. And, you know, just like stocks, right? Like I get into it, I
Right.
go all in. You know, and I don't know, man. It's something about the releases lately
Yeah.
that haven't really inspired me.
You didn't like the
you know?
Yankees release?
The Yankees release was cool. Yeah, that one was alright. But for the most part, I think, you know, I'm gonna always love low. Like always. Like it's in my heart, man. It's in my DNA.
Yeah, you were fighting hard, bro. I remember last.
I know.
podcast,
Last
you-
time
you
I was
were
on the
just fighting,
podcast
just
and you
fighting,
like, I don't
fighting.
know anymore.
You know what I'm
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, nah, man, this is, and you're a big part of it, man. This is a culture, and this has to be ingrained in you, man. And it's ingrained in me, but at the same time, just like I don't know what it was about the pandemic, but like fashion in general and just streetwear.
Took a back seat.
It took a back seat, and I'm not there mentally yet for it to be in the front seat. You know what I mean? Like I'm waiting. Maybe this summer is the time where things start popping back up. But right now, it's like I'm not really checking for sneakers. I'm not of course I follow the accounts. I see what's coming out, but you know. I did get the low Kith collection.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you sure? Yeah, you.
I got that
I
joint.
remember.
I did get that joint.
I think I
'cause-
texted you one of the sweaters, and you said you had one of them already.
Yeah. So I had
You got the bear sweater, right?
I got the bear sweater and I got the denim jacket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love that denim jacket too. It's good. That's some good quality shit. You know, I gotta share. If I show it to you in person, you would love it. But you know, but just in general, man, like I'm not on it like I was. You know what I mean? Because you know, I'm not really going outside, man. I've been in shorts and my Nike flip flops. And my wife beat it for like 14 months now. So like, I'm just not. This is the first time I've really dressed up since I did take a trip to Vegas though.
Man, look at you.
During-
Yeah, you did take a trip. I remember
During
that.
the
Yeah.
pandemic, I took
You-
a trip to Vegas.
You and the wife.
So yeah, son.
I remember. Yeah.
The Venetian actually sent me a brochure or whatever, and they were like, "Yo, 3 free nights, come through."
Yeah. Because you
And-
told me at the. You
In
remember
the
you,
suite
yeah,
too,
you-
and like the
you-
presidential joints.
You was telling me at the house you was gonna go. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think they had gave you that deal, and you was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going."
Yeah,
you
man.
ended
That's
up
what
going.
happens when you're a degenerate gambler. Sometimes
Oh,
you get
Jesus.
you get the free
Gosh,
joints.
this guy.
But yeah, man. But other than that, like I've been like cooped up, man. But I'm excited to see what's gonna drop soon, man. Like I hope there's something that's coming that inspires me. You know what I mean? That makes me passionate about it. And like, yo, I gotta standing in line and you know what I mean, waiting for the store to open. That's
Nah,
the
man.
kind
Well, I
of
mean, chances are nothing is gonna come that inspires you because they're just retroing things. So if it didn't inspire you 20
Like your
years
shirt.
ago, then like what's gonna be the difference now?
You never know though, man. They might surprise you, man.
You know
Like,
what? This is funny. This just hit me. I don't think you remember the GK, but you were getting on him because I watched the podcast. Because remember he was talking about. Remember because you know you have the original to that,
Yeah.
and you were telling him like, "Yo, it's that's trash. Like the original. You need the original." You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And now you're wearing it.
I know,
Oh,
right?
You saying you remember? I remember
Is
that.
this thing? It's not rayon, right? It's cotton.
It's synthetic. I think.
Yeah, I think it's
synthetic. It's not.
Can I?
It's
you
not
know, that's not bad.
really.
It's a little like thinner than rayon.
Yeah.
But it's a lot closer to rayon than I thought it would be.
Mhm.
It's not bad.
No, because GK is a purist when it comes to polo shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and I remember y'all were going back and forth. He was like, "Yo, it's not," you know what I'm saying? But it can't. I think it's a green one too, right? They have,
It's the green one, the red one, and this joint.
yeah. So
Yeah, I was trying to get the red one, man. So I think I saw Prance with it. I was like, shit.
Yeah, he's Mr. The Flatbush corner. Shout out Princelow.
Shout out Prance, love you, bro.
But yeah, well, GK, what do you think about the Yankee line? Did you like it? I know you like the Bears.
I mean, I hate the Yankees.
Yeah, but you would get
Whoa.
no, but they got the Cubs, they got the Dodgers.
I heard that they're gonna make the Bears for all the teams because it's been so
Oh,
successful.
they're gonna do all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Bear shirts now look really weird because they are heat pressed and not silk screens,
Yeah.
but they're still using halftones, which doesn't make any sense.
And the material is not even as good as it. You know what I'm talking about? The actual like.
Yeah, these things are gonna fall apart. They
Right.
won't even make 2 years. The Yankees thing, I haven't touched it, so I really can't tell you about like the quality of it.
Yeah.
But the way it looks like a bad Supreme collaboration. So, and that's pretty much what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my opinion on it.
You gotta say.
It's the Polo Hater Podcast. What's going
Nah,
on? Man?
listen. He speaks the truth.
I respect the opinion. Man.
Because like for him,
But that's what everything, like, how many companies are actually putting good quality products out now? Like quality.
it's only
quality materials,
couple, a
right?
few.
Like everybody's trying to cut costs now, and they're not worried about the quality anymore. As long as you have the logo on it, people gonna think you fly.
like what are some brands you think GK that are giving you quality?
I mean, the brands that make quality are all brands that people like really haven't heard of because they're small
Right.
runs. So like the smaller the run, the higher the quality should be because it's more hands-on to the person that's making them if they
Agreed.
want quality. You
Agreed.
know, when you look at something like Polo, Supreme, North Face, it's very high production numbers.
So then the quality, you lose the quality.
You remember North Face used to be very high quality,
Right, but
and then
the numbers were low though.
they changed their fabric mill to the same fabric mill that was used by Walmart, and that's like kind of when the first Summit series came out. It's like
Yeah.
2000, and that dropped the quality. Companies that make quality stuff, I guess like it'd be like more traditional things like Danner, things like that.
Yeah.
Certain workwear companies. I mean, the Carhartt whip stuff. It used to be Carhartt Europe. That stuff is like super high quality. It's good, but it's expensive. So you're gonna pay for quality. It's out there though.
I noticed even with high fashion, like you go into the Gucci store and like certain items feel higher quality than other items. Like the lower end items in the Gucci store,
Right.
it feels just like this sometimes. You know,
I
what
mean, because it probably is that.
yeah, exactly.
If not, see, because they have an astronomical markup. So it's like
astronomical isn't that's an
yeah,
understatement.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like that's what they do. It's like because of their name, they just mark shit up, 10,000%.
Yeah,
And you're paying for a regular T-shirt,
regular tea. Yeah, I have.
$900, $1,000, $1,500.
Yeah,
I mean, I personally hate what Gucci has become. It's just like a bad streetwear brand now.
Yeah.
Might as well be like 10 deep or some shit,
Yeah, well, I mean, I just think they're trying to get into something that they're not accustomed to.
Right.
They should stick to what they are, what they do well. But then everybody's trying to get their little
everybody's
streetwear
dipping their toe into
section.
streetwear.
Yeah.
Even Polo, they all trying to get their little streetwear. We want to be like Supreme, and we want to come out with stuff, and then we want people waiting on lines. I just don't think it works.
How'd you feel about the Gucci North Face collab?
I mean, I like it because of North Face, but I've actually touched some of the, I touched some of the items that are.
It felt like trash,
It's
right?
just, it was the regular degular. I even looked at some of the tags. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same. You can get a T-shirt like this, and some of the shit was the same thing.
The sizing on that stuff looked so crazy. Like they
Yeah.
really doubled down on like those like really big puffy jackets. You see like a really thin person wearing like a puffy jacket that looks like huge on them. Like,
Yeah.
like Kanye in that Minecraft video, right?
Yeah.
And they doubled down on that whole style.
Yeah.
And that was like a fly-by-night trend. So now something that should have been timeless is gonna go out of style. It's already out of style.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, if you
I like the floral.
the
Floral's
floor, no,
alright,
It's,
yeah.
I mean, they have nice designs. But all that I'm saying that if I'm going to pay $1,000 for a T-shirt, but I can get that T-shirt for $35, and it's the same quality, just that a name.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like I'm going for the 35 all the time.
Welcome to marketing and branding,
You
though,
know what
right?
I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just like, I can't do it, bro. Because the more you learn and the more you meet, people that do these things and
That's the
fashion people,
thing. Yeah.
and they telling you that, oh, we made this for $5, but when I see it in the store, the shit is $300-$400. I'm like, hell no.
I'm gonna tell you something funny about the markup. So when I was selling T-shirts, we'd bring them to Reed Space. We sold them at Reed Space, anything Division East. There's a bunch of stores we had, right?
Like the Mets T-shirt.
Yeah, it was a Mr. Met T-shirt.
That was
And
a good one.
when I first brought them to Reed Space, I wanted to sell them for $20 because I wanted them to be affordable. But they would not let me put them in the store at $20. They were like, the wholesale has to be $16 to $18, and then we double it.
Oh, wow.
Right. All boutiques work like that. It's a double. When I went to a design store maybe like a month ago, same thing. I gave them a wholesale price, and they're like, no, it's got to be double this. So yeah, you're right. It's like a scam.
Yeah.
But it's all, they artificially inflate the prices.
Definitely.
So
Yeah, they do that so that they can get that money in the front end when everybody is hype on it, and then when they drop the sale,
Yeah, then you're
a
not
few
really
months
losing
later,
anything.
you're
Right,
paying
right.
the actual retail value.
not only that, they're making more money than the person that makes the product because they don't have, well, I guess they got to pay rent and all that stuff. But, you produce a product, let's say it's $5. You sell it wholesale for $15. You get $10. The store sells it for $30. $30. They make a full $15, but they have overhead. So I guess that's not really a fair statement. Yeah, that's why prices are so high. With boutiques, it's a straight double. Same thing with galleries. Art galleries,
Yeah.
they take 50%.
Off the top.
Yeah. So if you pay $10,000 for something, the artist takes home $5,000, and the gallery keeps $5,000. It's like a 50-50 split.
Yeah,
with a
because
lot
I
of
mean, because
business.
you've been through that personally.
Yeah.
You've gone through that. So.
Yeah, definitely.
He definitely knows that from firsthand.
Rarely. See, the art world ain't really something I delved into yet, but I'm gonna get there.
Oh
Man.
Jesus.
That's my next thing.
Jay the artist. JayFlatbush the artist.
You gonna come to the man cave? You gonna see a Basquiat in there.
I know.
one
I'm
day.
like,
You gonna
what
be
the
like,
hell?
What the fuck?
I'm like, damn, them stocks been selling, huh? You know what I'm saying? But yo, let's wrap this up because
Yeah, man. It was
it's
fun.
time to go. Jay, where can they find you?
At JayFlatbush, I my shit is private now on Instagram, so I gotta vet you before I let you follow me. But yeah, at JayFlatbush
know
on
that.
Flatbush and Twitter. Yeah, I went private, man. You know what I mean? I'm getting to a point in my life where I'm not trying to do it for the gram or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I do it for people I'm close to. So I'm not trying to be out there like that anymore. So. But my Twitter's not private, and you can read all about my investments on there. So hit me up, JayFlatbush on Twitter and Instagram.
So GK, this is it.
No, I don't have anything to say this
You
week.
said that last week.
No, at this point, I have everything that I have to do for today in order to get ready for tomorrow. Just
It's like in your head. Like,
yeah.
so it's
So
like-
I'm like, let me just get the hell out of here and start doing whatever the fuck I gotta do.
Yo, he's so real.
Oh man.
But
Okay.
yeah, we can leave it at that.
Okay, so yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Polo Parata, the Super P Podcast on Facebook, Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on almost every podcast provider that you know of. Thank you, Jay, for coming, and
Thank you for having me, man.
we'll have you again because it's always a fun time.
Absolutely, man. I
You
love
may be doing
this.
something else.
I know.
You're jack of all trades anyway.
I try to be, man. You gotta keep it fresh, man. You know what I mean?
He's also in HR.
Yes, I
You know
do
what I'm saying?
HR. I do executive recruiting,
what I'm
executive
saying?
coaching. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff, man.
But yes, thank you as always for coming. And we'll be back next week, guys. Super P Podcast, sign off. Ciao.
That was dope.
Yeah, he kills me with this. But he